Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you all for this session, which we have organized to give you an idea about the Checkpoint Quantum product series, which will be latestly introduced. And on behalf of South Asian Technologies, we would like to welcome you all for this session. And you already know that South Asian Technologies, who was the checkpoint distributor for Sri Lanka for more than a decade. And now the Orin Corporation, which is one of the fully owned subsidiaries of South Asian Technologies, will be looking after checkpoint products in Sri Lanka. And so far, the South Asian Technologies is the only one entity in Sri Lanka to represent Checkpoint, and now we would proudly say that we have a representative from Checkpoint in Sri Lanka. I would like to introduce Mr. Ashok Bedagi, who was one of the experienced personnel in the industry, and he is the new Checkpoint country manager for Sri Lanka. And I would like to introduce Mr. Ashok Bedage, and who is also presented with us. And I would like to hand over to him to give an introduction on this session. And after his introduction, we are okay to start this session, which will be conducted by Yaron Wheeler, product manager for Checkpoint. And basically, as you all know, with the stuff with the coronavirus outbreak, the industry has rapidly changed. So the digital transformation process was rapidly changed than previous. So we have came up with new problems, new vulnerabilities, and the end users are the most vulnerable points when it comes to the security landscape. So we need to adapt, we need to come up with solutions for those new areas, and Checkpoint have come up with so many new products, and today we are basically focusing on the perimeter level security, which is with the Checkpoint Quantum, and we have new features, we have wonderful features. There are so many scalability solutions are also there. So Yaron will be explaining those in his presentation. So I would like to hand over Mr. Ashok Bedage, who is the country manager for Sri Lanka for Checkpoint.
Thank you, Tilina. I think, yeah, Tilina started it saying, the difficult times that we are in. So good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for joining us today for the Checkpoint Quantum Series webinar. Like Tilina mentioned, first of all, I hope that you and your loved one are keeping healthy and during this difficult time. So please take care of yourself and always follow health guidelines without fail. So that is just a reminder. So having said that, yes, I joined Checkpoint a few weeks back to lead the business in Sri Lanka. And that is the commitment shown in this market by the Checkpoint leadership team. As you know, I don't need to mention that, but let me recap that, South Asian Technologies have been doing a great job in bringing in Checkpoint products and solutions to you almost a decade now. So, so my intention is to focus mainly on 3 areas. That is to educate you all on new Checkpoint solutions that will help you to protect your data and provide the best possible security. So in this regard, we will be doing relevant technology update sessions like this, and we will be having one-on-one discussions with you all. And we also do workshop and to ensure that your security purchases are in the right way, right? And the second thing I want to focus is to improve Checkpoint support to you and to address all your concerns and resolve them on time. And the third important area is to develop the skills of our partners, and essentially they are the ones who will support you on the ground. So we will be taking many initiatives to skill them up. So moving on to Checkpoint's security architecture, I would say that is our #1 focus, and that is your security. As you know, today the threat landscape is increasing, and with the current situation, we are increasing our vulnerability on our entry points as well. So in order to provide a foolproof secure environment, it is important to have a tightly integrated security mechanism rather than security point products in silos. So this is where Checkpoint's Infinity's security architecture can help by tightly integrating your perimeter, data center, cloud, and your endpoints. So that will provide 100% visibility as to what is going on and provide an easy single management console where you can deploy your security policies and have an automated actionable to provide effective security architecture in your organization. Now, the next question is, yes, I mean, all these things are fine. There are so many things that you all could do, but at what cost? How much do we need to spend? Now, Checkpoint have understood this well and have come up with different solutions suitable for small and medium business to the large enterprises. And another thing that we have seen not only in Sri Lanka, in this part of the world is, customers are looking at pre-investing on 5-year solution. So when you do that, what happens is essentially, maybe you are not in a position to correctly analyze probably the exponential growth that might happen, after the 3rd year. And then sometimes we find that customers who have invested for 5 years might find at the end of 3rd year, I mean, the investment is not enough. So this is where Checkpoint offer you a scalable solution to meet these kind of situations. And this will essentially reduce your TCO. It's important that to have a balance between all those things. So the prime focus is security, and at the same time we need to ensure that the solutions that you are providing is capable of managing your expectation, and at the same time give you a better TCO. So without taking much time, let me introduce Yaron Vela from our product management team. So he has over 20 years experience in product management in cybersecurity, telcos, and semiconductors as well. So Yaron, over to you.
Thank you very much, Ashok, for the very nice introduction. So my name is Yaron Weiler. I'm product manager at Checkpoint, responsible for security gateway appliances. And I would like to thank you again for joining our webinar today. I would like to share with you the latest innovation we have in Checkpoint regarding security gateway appliances. This is the Quantum, which is the nickname for the 2020 line of appliances. Together with the MAESTRO Hyperscale, this is the unique clustering solution introduced by Checkpoint in the beginning of 2019. Now it's a mature solution, and I will allow you to get to know it and see what are the advantages, what is the architecture, the idea or the concept behind the product, and what is the value it's going to bring to you. So let's go ahead and start. The first one is Quantum. Quantum is the nickname of the 2020 line of appliances. It's coming up. So we do have multiple appliances in our catalog. They are divided into segments, if you can see left to right. We do have a good coverage for every segment in the market, starting with the branch office on the left, going to the small enterprise, mid-sized enterprise, large enterprise, and also data center, telco, and high-end. The segments by themselves are not something defined by Checkpoint. There are some, I would say, known terms in the industry, where each segment usually represent a security needs, a specific throughput, level of connectivity, level of redundancy, and also price tag associated with it. You cannot ignore that. And we in Checkpoint, we do care about the pricing, we do care about the TCO, the total cost of ownership, and therefore we are trying to show value in every new line of appliances that we are coming with, and I will demonstrate it in the coming slides. So we do have, again, this is another, I would say, another view of the 2020 line by itself without showing the predecessor lineup from 2016. You can see that we do have a good coverage for each and every segment, as I mentioned. We do have at least 2 appliances to cover each one of the segments, one from the lower part of the segment, while the second one is from the higher end. We do have, in some cases, some nice overlapping in between the segments, which I, as a product manager, I perceive it as a good thing. I'm worried that we will have a case where we do have a hole or a use case that is not covered, but this is not the case, and we do cover all use cases, all scenarios that require security gateway appliances. We do see that all the appliances are coming with Sunblast. Sunblast is Checkpoint brand name for NGTX, which is Gen 5 security, the highest level of security. And I'll show later on in this presentation why is that perceived the best security level in the world. Secondly is about Maestro. We can see that with the exception of the branch office, all the enterprise appliances are Maestro enabled, meaning I can connect them to Maestro system, which is an amazing benefit. And again, once we go to the Maestro and you can see what are the advantages and the value added that Maestro would bring, you would understand why we enforced every quantum product to be part of the Maestro family. The remaining of the rows over here are a summary of the topics taken from the data sheets of the product, highlighting what is the performance, what is the level of connectivity, the level of redundancy, the form factor, and also what is the starting list price showing in the catalog. What we've shown over here is just a glimpse showing how can we meet the market requirements. So we do have different use cases, different potential customers out there, starting with very, very small business or a branch office of an existing large organization, and then going all the way up, starting with small enterprises, mid-sized enterprise, and ending with the large banks, telco organization, hospitals, and so forth. They do require a tremendous throughput in their network, and this throughput need to be protected. That is why we do have a very strong, powerful appliances that will provide us, again, currently up to 30 gigabit per second of threat prevention per single appliance, which is an amazing level of redundancy. 30 gigabit, again, we are talking about the highest level of security, which is Gen 5. There are multiple layers of security, and if we take it to a lower level, then numbers will go much higher. I would like to spend a few minutes on some of the innovation that we've presented in Checkpoint as part of the introduction of the quantum line of appliances. The first one, which seems to be the most trivial one, is the fact that we are using the latest CPU. So just to give you an example, we starting to introduce the quantum lineup in June of 2019. In May of 2019, 3 weeks earlier, Intel announced the latest and greatest Cascade Lake CPUs. 3 weeks later in June, we announced the quantum line of appliances based on Intel Cascade Lake, meaning we do have an amazing relationship with Intel, which allow us to get samples ahead of time, ahead of the industry, ahead of companies that are 100 times bigger than us. And it's not only getting the samples ahead of time, it's also continuity of supply. If you read the economic newspaper and see what's going on in the world, you see that the giants such as Toyota, Ford, Volkswagen, they are shutting down automotive production line because there are not enough processors and CPU to put in all the new cars that they plan to build. In Checkpoint, we do not have this issue. We do have a relationship that allows us to get supply at a high priority and maintain continuity of business. And this is for you. So you can have a rest assured that we're going to support you and fulfill whatever the demand is going to be, despite of the shortage, the very severe shortage that we anticipate today's in the market, especially when it comes to components such as CPUs, storage, and so forth. The second one is the modular hardware, something that I'm going to elaborate later on as part of the business offering. Our competitors, companies such as Cisco, Fortinet, Palo Alto, they do not have any modularity in their offering. It means that when you purchase an appliance, it's fixed maximal configuration. Maximal configuration means that in 99% of the cases, you are paying way beyond what you actually need because you do not need all the connectivity, all the level of redundancy, and you can save a lot of money in the pricing and the TCO if you would have the ability to take exactly what you need. And this is what we believe in Checkpoint. Customers should pay exactly for what they would need, nothing beyond it, and the ability to go and expand with additional accessories subject to the growing of the organization and the growing need of the organization. The third point is around storage. So we proud to say that we have 100% enterprise grade SSD. So we managed to step away from the mechanical hard drive, and now we reach to a stage that enterprise grade SSD meet our internal specification for storage, wear levering, data retentions. So all quantum appliances are coming with enterprise grade SSD. It means much faster interconnection in between the storage and the CPU, and also much lesser faults and failure rates because there are no more moving parts such as in the hard drives. The fourth bullet is around second power supply unit. In the past, our branch office and small enterprise appliances did not have a second power supply, only a single one. Now we realize that every appliance should have either built-in or the option for a second power supply. So in case of power supply failure, the appliance wouldn't fail and would be supported by the second power supply. So all quantum appliances, just to recap, they are all coming with second power supply unit or an option to purchase one. The last bullet is the light out management or LOM. This is a Checkpoint proprietary solution for the remote installation and debug. This is a card that is installed inside the appliance and would allow you to have a remote connection to the appliance to do a lot of debugging, installation, updates, and so forth. Looking at the connectivity, so especially in large enterprise and data center, there are multiple switches, routers, configuration tool, automation tools, and you need a lot of ports to interconnect your security solution to all these entities within the data center or the large enterprise. We do have the most impressive and extensive range of connective ports in every quantum appliance. Over here, I have an example of the 26,000 or the 28,000, which are the data center appliances. And you can see that they have 8 expansion slots over here at the bottom of the picture. And again, we can support in each appliance up to 64 ports of 1 gig, up to 32 ports of 10 gig, and up to 16 ports of 40 or 100 gig. And of course, you can increase it while using splitters and so forth if you need 25 gig of connections. I would like to spare a minute to show the benefits or the value added that we have in Checkpoint excuse me, when we introduce a new line of appliance. What I'm showing over here is a comparison between the 5400, which is an older appliance, part of the 2016 line of appliances, to its successor, the replacement model, which is 6400, part of the Quantum family. Out of the box security, the 5400 was coming with NGTP, which is Gen 4. It is protection against the known, but there is no protection against the unknown. The Quantum, the 6400, is coming with Gen 5 with Sunblast, which is Checkpoint brand name for NGTX. This is the highest level of security against the known and unknown attacks. Performance went up by 70%. The previous appliance was not supported under Maestro. All the new appliances can be supported under Maestro. The maximal connectivity used to be 1 gigabit. We realize it's not enough. Now all the small enterprise appliances are coming with minimal or maximal connectivity of 10 gigabit. Power supply used to be a single power supply, which can be a single point of failure. Now all appliances are coming with 2 power supplies, so greater redundancy and resiliency. And even something simple as the number of CPU cores was doubled from 2 to 4, which allow us to have more simultaneously workloads supported under the 6400. Not showing over here, but the beauty is, if we look at the list price of the 6400 compared to the 5400, with all the value added the 6400 is providing, it is cheaper compared to the 5400. So what we do whenever we come with a new line of appliance, we provide much more value to our customers. We'll try to keep the list price as is or even cheaper in case we can do that. Looking at the business model, we do have 3 very simple guiding principles for Checkpoint security gateway appliances. The first one is the highest level of security in every product. And I'm going to explain why this is perceived, why Checkpoint SandBlast is perceived the highest level of security. The second is the most candid subscription rate in the industry. And third, this is the simple and modular offering. This is the hardware modularity, which I mentioned earlier. We can see over here that we do have several layers or level of securities, which are generation. Started at the bottom with Gen 2, which is the firewall and VPN. It was introduced by Checkpoint around 25 years ago. And then it evolved throughout the years with the more sophistication of the attacks. We also increased the level of security. Now we are in Gen 5, which is SandBlast threat emulation, threat extension, and artificial intelligence engine. All quantum appliances are coming with SandBlast for the first year. We do believe that you should have the highest level of security coming out of the box, no need for additional installation. And if you see the level of attacks is growing not in a linear way, but exponential way, especially in COVID-19, we see a huge increase in the level of attacks in a magnitude of 8 times what we previously saw. There is no other way to protect your business or organization without the highest level of support, and this is Checkpoint SandBlast. I'm saying all the time, this is the highest level of security, and it's not because we Checkpoint say so. Not sure that you know, but in security, unlike other industries, there are no specifications or standards that all the vendors need to comply. And basically what every vendor is saying, this is the statement, and it's very hard to compare apples to apples and see which one is indeed the best one. In order to do it, there are third-party labs that are doing all the experiments and tests, and they are providing the ranks and score. The most prestigious third-party lab in security is NSS Lab, and they rank Checkpoint SandBlast as the #1 security solution for several years in a row. You can see that we got the 100% score in all the protections and 0 false positive, meaning this is the highest level of security of protection out there. No other vendor, not Fortinet, no Palo Alto, no Cisco, no one else managed to get even close to Checkpoint SandBlast. And that is why we provide it as part of the quantum offering for day one. Talking about the modular offering, as I mentioned before, our competitors offer the maximal configuration. It means you are paying way beyond what you actually need because you don't need so many ports and everything around it. We do have a different approach that you should have the right product for you that would maximize the value for you and would give you the most value for your money. So we do have modularity in every part of the TCO, the total cost of ownership, in the product, in the subscription, and in the support. In the product, we do have 2 predefined configurations. The first one is base, which is the minimal operational configuration. It's redundant ready, but not redundant. For customers that less care about redundancy and do want to save more money. But it allows you the flexibility to configure the appliance by yourself. You can choose any type of storage, ports, connectivity, power supply, and basically in a modular way to configure your security gateway. The second configuration, which is called Plus, this is the other way around. We analyzed what accessory and add-ons customers used to purchase worldwide on a per segment base in the past 6 to 7 years. And then based on that, we prepared a predefined bundle, which is called Plus, which is the optimal package for customer to take, and it would fit 75–80% of the customers. I would like to mention that both base and plus are not the maximal configuration. And there is still a lot of room for customer to add or configure appliances to their need beyond what we initially thought. On the subscription part, which is the middle row over here, although we provide a SunBlast as a default for all quantum models for the first year, starting the second year, customers have the option to choose how to renew and which package, subscription package to take starting the second year onwards. They can start with Gen 3, which is a NGFW, Next Generation Firewall. They can start with Gen 4, which is NGTP, again, protecting against the known attacks. Or they can choose, and this is what we recommend, to choose to renew for SunBlast, which is full Gen 5 prevention. This is the complete suits of security blades for the known and unknown. Looking at the support, we do have several options. The most recommended one is the premium 24/7. We also have option for standard, which is 9 to 5, but again, highly non-recommended because the attacks do not stop at 5 p.m. and regenerate at 9 a.m. the day after. They are 24/7, and therefore you must have your organization being protected 24/7. For large organization, we also have Diamond. This is a high-level support subscription with designated support team for your organization. Again, does not fit for every organization, mostly fits for the high-level ones, the banks, the healthcare, the finance institute, and so forth. But for the regular, the average enterprise, premium support for Checkpoint is the recommended path to go. So you can see over here, we do have modularity. We do have an option for you to choose so you can maximize the value of the budget in order to find and to fit the best security solution for you, regardless if it's product, subscription, or support. Over here, I've concluded the part regarding quantum. I would like to stop for a minute if there are any questions before I move into the second part of Maestro. So I would like to open it to the audience. If there are any questions, I can try and answer. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. At the end of the session, we do have enough time for Q&As. I would like to mention that you can use the Q&A or the chat over here in order to raise questions, and after the presentation, I'll be able to go over them and answer. So let's talk about the Quantum Maestro. The challenge that we have today, or you have today, when you come to define what is the security solution that you need to buy now, it's very problematic. And why is that? Because the traffic, the network traffic is doubling every 3 years. It means that the network throughput is growing roughly 25–30% year over year. So if you know what is the requirements for your organization today, this security solution that you are about to purchase need to survive or to last for at least 6 to 8 years. So it means that your solution will be 5 times bigger than what you actually need today. It means a lot of concerns, technical concerns, but also commercial concerns, because the solution will be much more expensive than what you actually need today. So there is a risk, not only technology, but also commercial one. And this was the motivation when we started to think, what can we do different in security appliances other than a larger boxes? So imagine that we can offer you a solution that would fit every size of organization, regarding how small or large it is. We have a solution right for them. You can choose a solution that would fit today's need. Do not worry about what the future would come up, because you can grow the security solution according to the growth of the organization. You don't need to buy now what you think would fit to the organization in 5 or 6 or 7 years from now. Buy what you need today and then pay as you grow. Like a Lego, you can add bricks to the solution and grow your security overall solution for the organization. This is the concept behind the Maestro. The Maestro is a hyperscale solution. What does it mean? It means that you can scale up and expand it. You are not buying the final configuration. You are buying what you need today and then grow and add more building blocks into the solution and basically increase the solution according to the growth of the organization. It's going to have a supreme operation management. You can look at the overall Maestro solution or system as a single entity, but you can also deep dive and go into the level of appliance or connection, everything you need to do. And lastly, about redundancy. So we do have the cloud level resiliency inside your premises, and we'll be able to offer telco grade redundancy inside your organization. So what is Maestro? How does it look like? And how do we fulfill all the goodies and the amazing added value that I just introduced? Maestro is an orchestrator. It's not an appliance by itself. It resides in between the external network and the appliances inside the premises. The Maestro capsules and connects all the different appliances into the network. The network connects to the Maestro orchestrator, and it combines all the appliances connected to it to one logical appliance. Let's see how it looks like. So we do have over here a Maestro solution or Maestro system comprised of 2 orchestrators. In most cases, or in all cases, we recommend to have 2 orchestrators so the Maestro itself will not be a single point of failure. And then we have 3 appliances connected to the Maestro. The appliances is where all the knowledge resides. All the security blades are in the appliance. There are no blades in the Maestro. The Maestro is just the orchestrator. It doesn't play the instrument in the Philharmonic. It is one to tell each one of them when it's their time to play. So we do have an untrusted traffic coming into the Maestro system. We can see this is the existing snapshot of the system. We see that the load coming to this system is equally balanced in between the appliances connected to it. The Maestro decides which of the appliances should handle the new connection coming from the external one. It routes the traffic to the appliance that is doing the security blades. Once the traffic is processed, it is rerouted into the organization. So basically, you can treat a single Maestro system as one logical appliance, like a cloud, but inside your premises. And let's see how the goodies of the clouds are coming and serve you. So for the sake of the simplicity, I'm showing a Maestro system with a single appliance. Again, there is no redundancy, of course, but just for the sake of demonstrating scalability, I've decided to start with a single appliance. So we do have a single appliance. In this case, I took the Quantum 16600 hyperscale, which is a 1U appliance providing 17.6 gigabit per second of threat prevention, Gen 5 security or SunBlast. And this is working for the organization. And let's say this is not enough. Sorry. And I can add another one. I'm doing all the connections, the physical connections, connecting all the ports. I'm powering it up. And within 6 minutes, the Maestro automatically pushes all the policy, all the rules, no manual intervention is required. And after 6 minutes, I'm doubling the security throughput of my security gateway from 17.6 to 35.2 gigabit per second, doubling the throughput. And I can continue and cascade up to 52 such appliances under single Maestro system and can reach tremendous throughput. So scalability-wise, again, I would recommend to start with 2 appliances at least so you can have redundancy, but you can connect up to 52 appliances into a single Maestro system. We can see over here, if you recall at the beginning of the presentation, I mentioned that all the enterprise quantum appliances are Maestro enabled. So you can have each and every one of them like Lego bricks. You can have a big Lego brick such as the 28,000 providing 30 gigabit per second, a medium one such as the 7,000 appliance providing close to 10 gigabit per second, or a smaller one such as the 6600 providing modest 3.7 gigabit per second. But again, with the scalability options of Maestro allow you to connect multiple appliances, you can reach a tremendous throughput regardless of the size of the appliances. I would like to make one small note over here. Currently, within the same security group, you can have a single type of appliance. However, starting the coming software release, which is R81.10 SP, we're going to introduce a feature called Mix and Match, which is going to allow you to connect any appliance to a single Maestro system, meaning newer and older appliances you can have 2 of these, one like this, all of them connected to the same security group, and practically allow you to choose any security solution. If you need additional 3 gigabit per second, you don't need to buy a large appliance just because you have it. You can buy the smaller one that would fit your need for the incremental security throughput and just add it to the Maestro system. So this is about scalability. Now let's talk about resiliency and how do we manage to overpower every clustering solution out there in the market. So we do have a patent pending for something called HyperSync that allow you to have the resiliency and redundancy of a cloud inside your premise without the need to have a lot of spare appliances just sitting there in inactive mode. In Maestro's solution that you can see over here, all the appliances are working in active mode. There are no inactive appliances or standby appliances just sitting there like a very expensive furniture waiting for the active to fail. In Maestro's solution, all the appliances are working in active mode, meaning you have the cumulative throughput of all the appliances connected to the Maestro. We see an example over here. We have a Maestro orchestrator with 4 appliances connected to it. And we see again, the load coming to the Maestro system is equally balanced between the appliances connected to the Maestro. Now let's assume that one appliance failed. The Maestro automatically rebalance the throughput coming to it among the remaining 3 appliances. No connection failed. The throughput that used to be supported or managed by the top appliance are now divided equally in between the remaining appliances. Once we fix the issue for the failed appliance, bringing it back to service, the Maestro would rebalance the throughput not among 3 but among 4 appliances. So we do have full redundancy within the system, no need to have spare or inactive units, and we utilize all the hardware resources. Another slide to emphasize this crucial topic. On the left side, I do have a standard clustering, high availability cluster, something that we used to have, something that our competitors are having today, Palo, Fortinet. When you want to buy a security solution, everyone is talking about HA cluster or high availability cluster. What does it mean? It means that you have 2 appliances. One of them is active, the other one is inactive. meaning you don't see the throughput of it. It's just sitting there waiting for the active to fail and then to switch over to take care and support you. And if for the sake of simplicity, each appliance is giving 1 gigabit per second, and it doesn't matter if it's Checkpoint, Fortinet, Palo, or Cisco appliance. In high availability cluster, the throughput of the cluster 1 plus 1 is equal to 1 because you do not count the throughput of the inactive unit. You only count the throughput of active unit. So if one of them is active, the other one is inactive, 1 plus 1 equal to 1. You only count the throughput of the active unit. In Maestro, on the other hand, all the appliances are active. So the throughput of 1 plus 1 plus 1 equal to 3. That's an amazing feature. It saves you a lot of time, out of the pocket money and TCO. You take advantage of all the appliances connected and using the throughput rather than active-inactive mode of operation. Another feature that is coming in the coming for Maestro, just to demonstrate the unique capabilities that we have out there. Let's assume we have let's say retail companies such as H&O, Zara, Mango, one of the clothing institute, the companies that we are well familiar. And the business is divided into two. They have the stores, the regular brick and mortar stores that are in shopping malls and in shopping areas. But they also have the internet side that people can go online and do their shopping. And let's assume, for the sake of simplicity, that Zara decided to protect her organization with Maestro system. And we do have two orchestrators here on the top, and we have two security groups. We do have the option to have several security groups inside the Maestro system, up to 8 security groups, and each one going to handle a specific division, organization within the company. And they can have a different policy and rules per security group. So you do have one security group protecting the actual shops in the brick and mortar shops in the shopping centers and the malls. And I do have another security groups of 3 appliances protecting the online or the internet business of Zara. And then it's COVID-19. People have lockout. I have no idea what's going on in Sri Lanka, but in Israel, we had 3 sessions of lockout that we used to stay at home for weeks or months, only allowed to go out to buy a grocery store, but not allowed to go to buy clothes or shoes or something like that, which are not essential parts. So people cannot go to the stores, that everyone is going online. So the online traffic is going dramatically while the brick and mortar store is going down. So once the Maestro system realized that the traffic is not balancing between the different security groups, it can automatically borrow appliance from a non-new security groups, which are the brick and mortar stores, because no one is going outside to buy clothes, and reuse it in order to increase the security group protecting the online shops. And this can be done automatically. Again, the administrator, of course, is setting the thresholds for to decide when a specific security group is underutilized, overutilized, and when can you borrow resources. I would like to mention that this borrow of resources does not involve any physical connections. The connections are unchanged. It's only how to logically match a specific appliance to a specific security group. It is done by the management system automatically with the authorization and approval of the administrator. Another great option of the Maestro, this is the data center redundancy. It's a feature that we introduced last year called dual site. Allow you to have the Maestro system spread between 2 locations up to 10 to 25 kilometers from each other. This limitation is not driven from the Maestro, it is something inherited from the optical, the latency from the optical lines. It's transparent to the Maestro itself. And we do have the options to have 2 sites connected to Maestro For example, for disaster recovery, for banks, healthcare, and so forth. So a single Maestro system can be now redundant, not only in between two rooms within the same buildings, but across the city and have a full protection, active between two sites. This is a snapshot of Maestro. In order to conclude, I would like to show you a simple use case, how to use the Maestro system. In order to do so, we created an hypothetical company called Pilot Light Robotics Company. It's around doing robotics for food and beverage industry, 1,000 employees, great potential, growing momentum, will consume a lot of traffic than what they actually need today, and they are looking to set up the security solution for this organization. So they wisely decided to use the Maestro system. They purchased a Maestro orchestrator with several appliances connected to it. As I mentioned before, all appliances connected to the Maestro system are working in an active mode. They are planning ahead and they are ready for the future. And then breaking news, a few months later, this company decided to acquire one of its major rivals, another company at the same size. Now, the major headache for the CISO, how can we increase the security solution for the joint acquired organization, which includes the original company, but also the acquired one? With Maestro system, it's very simple. I connect two additional appliances, and within minutes, I do have full security support for the growth of the organization after the acquisition. I'm talking minutes. That's it, simply as that. The company continues to grow, and they started to move a lot of their traffic from the in-premise to the cloud. And we see that the traffic to the cloud is growing, and we do need to manage different policy, different rules for the in-premise traffic versus the cloud traffic. With Maestro, it's very easy. You define two separate security groups, one for the offices, which is the in-premise traffic, and one for the cloud traffic. And you can manage each and every one of them like a different logical appliance within the same Maestro system. No physical connectivity is required, it's just part of the management, and with a second click, you can decide which appliances are allocated to the office or to the in-premise security group versus the cloud traffic. With the ability to auto-scale, in case the cloud traffic is continuing to grow, and you see that more and more traffic is going from the in-premise to the cloud, with the auto-scale feature, the Maestro would automatically take one of the appliances connected to the office and move it to the cloud. So you have a complete protection of your install base. You don't need to purchase an additional resources. The Maestro would manage it for you in the most optimal way, so you can use the security resources according to the growth and the dynamic of the organization. So just to conclude, this is my last slide in this presentation. Maestro is unique hyperscale solution, the only true hyperscale solution out there in the industry. No other vendor can offer anything like that. It's an easily scalable solution, providing simple operation, cloud level resiliency, and a very cost-effective solution. You do not need to purchase something 5-6 times bigger than what you need today. You can buy exactly what you need and then pay as you go. Thank you. With that, I've concluded my presentation covering both the Quantum 2020 lineup of appliances from Check Point and also the Maestro hyperscale solution. So I do encourage you to place your questions in the Q&A. I'm going to go there and I'm going to touch base on the questions out there. One question coming regarding the Check Point SD-WAN support. So SD-WAN, for those who are less familiar, this is the option for branch office to directly connect to the WAN and not the need to go through expensive VPN all the way through the headquarters. So we are working on SD-WAN capabilities, and starting 2022, we're going to have built-in capabilities inside our appliances. So you can purchase an SD-WAN blade that allow you to connect any appliance to the WAN for all the applications in the WAN directly from the appliance without the need to go through the headquarters. Um, So, how do we move local into the cloud? So, again, the best way to do it is with the Maestro orchestrator. You can have a data center connectivity for both in-premise and appliances together with the cloud. You can have multiple ports connecting private and public cloud to the Maestro, whereas at the same time, you can have a different or separate security group that's going to protect the in-premises appliance. So within the Maestro system, we do have the flexibility to have multiple environments connected to it. And this is the best approach to have both in-premises and cloud. You can get in touch with me or, offline. We do have a unique use cases for Cisco ACI, for VMware VS6 connectivity. So if there is such a need, we can elaborate and can have the right architect touch base with you. If you have a specific use case, you would like to see how to make this hybrid connection through the Maestro system. Questions regarding compliance. Again, I'm not sure, again, what is that means by compliance to what? So if you can elaborate on that, I will be more than happy to answer. I would like to encourage you to go and place any questions you might want in the Q&A. I'll be more than happy to answer. I would like to mention again, we are here for you 24/7. So if there are any questions, topic that is coming after this webinar, please contact the local team, the great local team you are having in Sri Lanka, and they will be able to provide you with the solution or the answer while being in touch with all the relevant primes within Checkpoint.
Do we have any other questions from the participants? We had a couple of questions and all have been answered now. Do we have any more questions? Okay. If we don't have any more questions, let me check. Yaron, we have another question. Yes, it's basically asking regarding the NGTP appliances to be upgraded for NGTX level by licensing.
So yeah, again, the quantum models are coming with NGTX or SunBlast for the first year. And then in the second year, you can renew to any possible blade. All their appliances were coming with NGTP, and we do have additional blades that you can upgrade from NGTP to NGTX or SunBlast.
Okay. It seems all questions have been answered. If you have any more questions, you may do not hesitate to reach out to us. If you have anything, you can contact us at any time. So we'll be very happy to help you all. And if you want any more clarification from the principal side, we are very happy to make the connectivity from with them as well. So anytime, if you have anything, any questions regarding any of the solutions that we are having with Checkpoint, so we basically today discussed regarding the quantum, and we do have CloudGuard solutions and Harmony solutions, which are basically focused on cloud level security as well as the users and access security, which is for Harmony. And so anything, if you have any questions, you can anytime reach out to us. So we are very happy to help you all. So I would like to thank you for all of you for participating for this session, and we would like to give our gratitude, our thanks to Yaron for this wonderful session, for this informative session. So we are hopefully planning to have more sessions on checkpoint solutions, the new solutions that we are having. Thank you very much for your